let's do this. I'm going to take a quick detour here and just put up, is that readable?
Yes.
And it says,
Teach.
Teach, right. So what we were talking about where when you think about something you want and something you desire, what you're thinking about, these are your thoughts. Thoughts are so very important. I can't stress to you how important your thoughts are. Your thoughts control, it seems like they control everything. Your mindset, it controls everything about you starts right there. So right now, you've got certain thoughts going through your head right now, whatever they are. They could be, this guy's a nut. I don't know what he's saying, but whatever the thought is, you have thoughts. And you have maybe, I don't know, we'll just say hundreds of thousands of thoughts going through your head every day. Now, you can't really capture every thought that you have because they're just some of them are so quick and they just come and go. But it's the ones that you spend time with. It's the thoughts that you focus on, spend most of your time with. Those are the ones that matter because those thoughts will drive you to the next piece that we've been talking about. And that is your emotions. Your thoughts generate your emotions. So you don't just have emotions. They're not just rampant. They're based on something you're thinking about. If you're sad about something, it's because you're thinking about something that makes you sad. If you're happy about something, it's because you were thinking about something that makes you happy. So understand that your emotions are very important because the emotions, as we talked about earlier, that's the energy. That's the energy that is radiating from you that creates this attraction. So really pay attention to this because this will tell you whether or not you are in alignment with what you want or out of alignment with what you want. You could still want to be a millionaire, but if you're out of alignment with it because the thought of being a millionaire makes you sad because you're not, then those emotions, the sadness, the low vibrating emotions, aren't going to bring that financial freedom to you. Making sense so far?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So but if you want to change these emotions, you have to start up here. You have to start with what you're thinking about that thing. So as we talked about financial freedom, what thoughts do you have around financial freedom? Is it, I'll never be rich? I want to be rich, but I'll never be rich. If that's the thought, it's going to create a scarcity, lack, mentality, and emotions. And that energy is going to be a low vibrating energy, and you'll never get to the thing that you want because it started here with a negative thought. I heard someone say, someone was literally trying to heal a broken bone just by using their thoughts. And apparently it worked, but they had to get to a place where they could not afford one negative thought to get to that place because the negative thoughts will block all of the things that can conspire to get you what you want. And the universe is always conspiring to give you everything you want. Everything you want, the universe always wants to deliver it to you. But it only knows what to deliver based on this. It doesn't know that you're thinking about this. It knows this is how you're communicating with the universe, is through your energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you understand this is the communication path to the universe, you got to figure out how to manage this. And the best way to manage this is to deal with the thoughts. Now, there are ways to do this. And I'll just give you a couple real quick because I want to get through all this before we run out of time. We'll talk about one of them today as well because we're going to talk about confidence. And the one thing that confidence requires is how you think about yourself. If you think about yourself as very competent and able to do something, you create this confidence. And so your thoughts about yourself are very important. And so when you understand that you can really manage these, you're not at the mercy of just willy-nilly thoughts. You can focus your thoughts through affirmations. You can focus your thoughts through meditation. That's when you open yourself up and create an intent to have a certain thing come into you, and those thoughts will start to come to you. You can manage your thoughts by visualization. When you start to see pictures and you start to see these things, you have a certain thought about those, and all of these things will create a focus of the thoughts that you want that will drive this energy. And this is really where we're trying to go. We're trying to get to this, how do we manage this energy? Because that energy is the key to unlocking the abundance that the universe is trying to give you. It will give you abundance of bad stuff too, but if you want an abundance of good stuff, you have to have an abundance of high vibrating, high frequency energy. And the way, and here's an energy, here's an emotional scale. Again, I don't know if you can see this, but at the very top of the emotional scale is love. That's the highest level of vibration you could possibly have. If you've read, I don't know how religious you are, and this isn't a religious discussion, but those of you who've read the Bible know that it says in there, God is love. That's what that means. You can't get any higher than God. God is love. Love is God. If you have love in you, you have God in you. You have that connection to the infinite intelligence, that connection to the universe. That's your communication, right? At the very lowest end of your emotional scale is fear. Fear is the separation from God. Fear is the separation from love. Fear will make you do and think and feel all kinds of things. One easy way of looking at it, they call it fight, flight, or freeze. You'll either lash out, you'll either run away, or you'll just do nothing. And because fear is so very powerful, it is one of the lowest vibrations. It is the lowest emotion you can feel, and love is the highest. So in terms of emotions, understand that scale. Now, in between there's probably 100, you could say 300 emotions you can feel. Everything from just complacency and boredom to disappointment, to anger, to rage, to, it goes down and down and down and down. And the problem with this is if you stay in one place for any length of time, you'll have a tendency to go downward. So if you find yourself in a place on the emotional scale that you don't like, if you paid attention to your gauge and you say, hey, this gauge isn't really where I want to be, recognize you're saying, I'm moving down toward fear, and I really want to move up toward love. And so you can start to determine the thoughts that will help you move up. All right, so those thoughts are, it's easier said than done. I'm giving you something that probably sounds simple, but it's not very easy at times, especially if you have real negative thoughts. They've been ingrained in you for a very long time. If you grew up and someone always called you a name, whether it's you're just not capable, you're stupid, whatever it is, if they've always called you a name, you begin to believe that. Those thoughts will permeate your mind all the time. And along with that, you'll attract the things that are associated with that. All right, so enough of that basic overview. That's law of attraction simplified. I didn't get to the other letters of teach. We'll have to do that another time because they are as important. Just so that you know what they are, T is for thoughts, E is for emotions. You know what? I think if you go to ClarenceCaldwell.com/teach, you'll get a document from me that clearly shows you what that acronym stands for. ClarenceCaldwell.com/teach. And I have a document in there that'll if you put your email in, it'll send it to you right away. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, before we go any further, let me make sure that we're clear on law of attraction. Any questions, any comments, concerns, pushback?
I don't have any comments yet.
Okay.
Like our concerns.
Are we going too slow, too fast? You want me to speed it up?
For me, you can speed.
It's good? You
Yeah,
good,
you can
Maggie?
speed up if you want to.
Okay.
How about Maggie?
You good, Maggie?
Yep.
All right. Josh is on mute, so he just dropped off. He must be having connection problems. All right. So the next thing I'd like to share with you is I'm going to share my screen with you because we're going to talk about confidence. And real quickly, before we even get into confidence, I'm just going to run through. You don't have to read all of that.
What if I just lost you all completely?
Uh-oh, did you lose us?
I can hear you.
Can you see my screen?
No.
Uh-oh, that's not good. Maggie, can you see my screen?
Yep. See.
Marisol, I don't know why you can't see it.
Well, I didn't touch it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I shared my screen and maybe something happened there where I'll stop the share and see if you come back. Did that help?
No.
No, you still can't see us.
Right.
Huh, that's strange. Well, that's not going to work then. Because I'm showing a lot of stuff here.
I know. Okay.
All right. So let's see. We've got a few minutes if you want to drop off and drop back and redial back in. It might reestablish the connection.
Right back.
Okay. All right. So Maggie, you can still see everything, yes?
I can.
Okay. Yeah, this is one thing about this online. If the far end doesn't have a really solid connection, high-speed Wi-Fi or cable, and even if you've got cable, sometimes the cable company isn't real reliable.
Yeah, like at the other place, man, mine, it comes and goes and comes and goes.
Yeah. So that's the downside of these online Skype and Zoom.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna give Marisol and Josh a moment to come back.
I can hear you still.
Can you?
You're lucky to say anything back.
No.
Oh, hey.
What?
I'm back.
Hey.
Hi, y'all.
All right. Now I'm going to do this again, and tell me if you lose us. How are we so far? You still see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
How about now?
Okay, yeah. Oh, go backward. Go backward.
Go back?
Yeah, when you did that, it went away.
Oh, it did, really?
Yes.
Oh, I guess I can't share my screen with you. Oh, it might be just too much information trying to come to you. All right. Well, we'll do it on the whiteboard. Can you see me now?
Not at all.
Oh, so we're back to where we were.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I unshared my screen, so whatever you were doing to get us back, do that again, and we'll come back. Or maybe it was you just waited long enough, and all the bits got through the wires through the pipe.
Oh, okay. Good.
All right.
Okay. Can't share your screen with me.
What's that?
I don't think you can share your screen with me.
No, I probably can't. So let's do it a different way. All right, very quickly. There are, I call these table stakes. This is what it takes to get in the game. If you want to win, if you're a gambler, there's a lot of casinos around here. I'm not a gambler either, but I do know enough not to enter into certain games.
Right.
Because you can lose a lot of money, or you can win a lot of money. But if you're going to try to get into a game that has really, really high stakes, you got to enter with what they call table stakes. And that means you can't just sit at the table. You have to bring, $1,000 with you just to play the game. It doesn't guarantee you're going to win, but you can at least get in. So I call these table stakes. And the table stakes are the 3 C's. Commitment, confidence, and courage. Okay, we're only going to talk about confidence today. And we're going to go through it pretty quickly because I spent way too much time telling you how to build a watch instead of telling you what time it was.
Okay.
So commitment is important because you really, if you don't have the will and desire to do something or to have something, you're not going to have a commitment to it. And so when you run into issues, you run into problems, run into roadblocks, you give up. Not that big a deal. Not going to put in the work. Don't want to, it doesn't mean that much to me. So this is important. If you're talking about financial freedom, how important is that to you? If you are absolutely committed to it, meaning you're going to get knocked down, you're going to get up, you're going to do whatever it takes because that thing that you desire is so important to you. You are so committed to it. The will is so high. The desire is so burning in you. That is a level of will and commitment that it requires sometimes, depending on how big the issue is. You say, well, I just want a new car. No, it's not that big a deal. I can drive this old one. It's going to be a low level of commitment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, but the commitment, knowing what your commitment is to whatever it is that you're trying to do, it's part of the table stakes. Your ability to overcome fear. This is the courage. How much courage you have allows you to overcome fear. So, fear is the opposite piece of this thing. So if you have a fear of, just talk about external fears. You fear that someone's going to break into your home. So you put on a lock. You put a burglar alarm in. You lock your car door when you go to the store because you fear somebody might take your belongings or take your car. So that's a healthy fear because it keeps us safe. Fear is a way of securing us. It's a way of keeping us safe. And so fear is important to have. I'm never one to say no one should ever have any fear about anything. That's kind of ridiculous. You must have a healthy amount of fear because it keeps you safe. Now, where fear is a problem is when it's internal. Not this external of somebody might harm me, but when it's internal. When you fear being embarrassed. When you fear being rejected. When you fear being shamed or failure. Those are internal fears. And those are the fears that can stop you from moving forward with what you want. Just like if you don't have enough commitment, you can be stopped. If you have those internal fears, it can stop you also. Mm-hmm. And it's okay, because what happens when you have those internal fears, it's the same thing when those external fears exist. It's keeping you safe. It's trying to say, well, don't do that because you're going to be embarrassed. I'm going to keep you safe. So those internal fears sometimes are very comfortable. And you say, well, I'm just not going to do that, and I'm safe. And that's okay. It's a choice that you have to be safe or to take a risk being embarrassed, risk being rejected, risk being having a failure. So fear is good because it keeps us safe externally and it keeps us safe internally. But on the internal side, it can stop us from moving forward when we want to get something. All right, so what we're going to really focus on right now is not the fear and the commitment, but the confidence piece. The confidence piece is really the yin and the yang of, we'll call it self-doubt, or self-belief. How much do you believe in yourself? Or how much do you doubt yourself? This is the opposite side of the same coin. And really what it boils down to is how much confidence do you have to do whatever it is you're going to have to do to get that financial freedom or to get that next job or to find that soulmate or whatever it is. How much confidence do you have to start that new business? How much confidence do you have to walk in and ask for a raise? How much confidence is there? Confidence is very, very important because confidence opens doors. Confidence, when you have it, is a great level of energy because it moves you up so that you feel powerful. You feel like, yes. When you're saying yes, confidence is in control. And it may you may fail. You may end up being rejected. That's okay. But if your confidence is high, it's okay. You can get past it. If your commitment is high, you can get past it. So all of those things, those three things have to be in place together. Those are the table stakes. You can't get into the game that you're trying to win unless you have those table stakes in place. All right. All right. So confidence. Let's talk a little bit about how you get more confidence. Yes.
It's funny, Clarence, in my life, confidence is very strong on one piece of the pie in my life.
Yes.
And it is a roadblocker on another part of my life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's such a good point because here's the deal. There's nobody that's completely confident in everything. It just doesn't work that way. There's nobody on this planet that's confident in everything. Mm-hmm. If they are, they're probably missing something because they're fooling themselves. Because confidence comes from a place of knowing. It comes from a place of wisdom and ability and skill and not everybody. No one is all-knowing, all skillful, all everything. So you can't be confident in everything. In fact, even if you are skilled and comfortable in doing a certain thing, you still have to deal with this issue of confidence. I was talking yesterday about the Olympics that just ended, and I had several quotes from many of the athletes. These are top-of-the-line athletes, top in the world. No one better in the world than these athletes at what they're doing. But they still need to embrace a level of confidence that moves them to the next level. You would think, well, they've got to be really confident. Some of them aren't. Some of them have that fear of failure. Some of them are like, am I really good enough? Do I really have what it takes? They're not as confident. And you would think, gosh, they've got to be really confident. But the fact is, we all have a level of confidence, even in the things that we know that might be a low level of confidence. And it's certainly in the things that we don't know, we have like no confidence. But it's okay. You might decide, I don't want to have confidence in that. Jumping out of airplanes and skydiving, I have no confidence in doing that. But I don't want any confidence in doing that either.
Yeah.
I'm not going to learn how to do that. It's not something I really want to do. So it's okay to be confident in some areas and not in others. Now, if it's an area that you really do want to do and you have low confidence there, that's what we're going to talk about here. So how do you get more confident in an area that you do want to have more confidence in? That's the question. Okay. And it's there's two ways to show this. I'm going to show it one way first, but then I'm going to kind of end with another way because I think it's much more powerful. And that is what I'm calling the competence loop. Okay, so let's talk about competence. Competence is really just your ability to do something, how much you can do it, your skill set, your knowledge, your wisdom around doing something. So if you're competent in playing the stock market to become a millionaire, if you're very competent there, it means you know what all those little symbols mean. You know that the return on investment is this. You're so competent, you will have a higher level of confidence when it comes to investing in the stock market. If you don't know anything about the stock market, you're going to have a low level of confidence in investing in the stock market. So competence is important to build confidence. Making sense?
I would think it would be vice versa.
Yes, that's why this thing is a never-ending loop. Because when you have confidence, it will drive you to do something that gets you more competence. And the more competent you become, the more willing you are to take another step to be more confident.
Right.
So that's why it's drawn this way. It's a never-ending loop. It's a chicken and egg. Which one comes first? Who knows?
Right.
But they work together. I started here because I think we all know what confidence is, but I wanted to explain what competence was. So this is the confidence-competence loop that is very, very important. So if you have a low confidence in a certain area of your life or what you want to accomplish, think about building a level of competence in that arena. Whether you're reading books, going to school, trying it out, testing it, failing a couple of times and learning from the failure, or talking to people who already do a good job of it, surrounding yourself with people who are confident and competent in that area. There's a million things you can do to build your competence. And once you become more competent, like if I really become competent at something, I'll have more confidence around it. But it's more than just learning. It's also about doing. And this is where a lot of people fall. It's they learn, but they never quite do it. I could read 100 cookbooks on how to make a fancy French dish, but if I never actually do it, then I probably won't be very good at it. So I have to do it and burn the souffle first, or turn it up, or make a mistake. I've got to do that. That builds my competence. And the next time I do it, I'll have a little more confidence because I know I can't do it that way. This time I've got to do it this way. And so now my confidence is increasing. All right, so let me try this little more complex French dish. So now I'm a little more confident. I can step out a little bit more. And I go back to, well, that didn't work out, but I learned a little bit more. And that gave me more confidence. And so I took another step and it gave me more competence. So this just continues. And so another way to look at that, which was explained to me, is you can actually, the loop kind of goes up. So as you become more competent and confident, you actually go in that direction. You get higher and higher and higher. You become better and better and better. So this one kind of just shows a flat, never-ending thing. But really what's happening is you're raising your game. And when you raise your game in your level of competence, you are raising your game in a level of confidence. And when you raise your game in a level of confidence, you step out and do more so that you learn more and become more competent.
Mm-hmm.
Is that making sense?
Yeah, I like that.
All right. So here are the 5 things.
Maggie, have you heard that before?
Which part?
This part that he just said, the confidence.
Confidence.
Yeah.
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 I've heard this. Yeah. And
Yeah, go ahead, Maggie. I do a podcast every week, Marisol, and I covered this on the podcast yesterday.
Oh, poor Maggie.
No, it's good. It's good to hear things twice sometimes. You pick up more things the second time.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's okay. I'm glad, because repetition is the mother of skill. So you become more confident the more times you hear it, the more times you try it. So, and I will tell you this: there are very few things in this world that are brand new. This isn't a new idea.
Well, okay. Like when you were talking about fear earlier.
Yes.
So the other day when I was listening, I wasn't thinking this, but today when you're talking about it, I'm thinking, well, why don't we use fear differently? Why don't we use fear to, instead of keep us from doing things, why don't we use it and turn it around to make us do things? Like, why aren't we more afraid to not do something? You know, why I should be more afraid to not go back and get, my PhD. I should be more afraid to not, be more successful. We should be more afraid to not be more financially successful or whatever.
Right.
All the things that we want to do, we should be more afraid to not do that. I mean, my fear should be more and not, I should be kicking myself. I mean, we are self-talking ourselves into being more fearful to not do the not things, Yeah.
Right.
You say that,
I understand that.
Yeah. And what you have to do, Maggie, is you weigh which one is going to give you the most pain. See, we have, unfortunately, as humans, we like to avoid pain. They talk about the carrot and the stick. We like to go for the reward, and we like to avoid the pain. Those are the two motivators that we have as people, either avoiding pain or going after the reward. But what truly happens with us, we do anything to avoid pain. we don't always run after that reward. We say, yeah, I want the reward, and it will be good, but it doesn't motivate us as much as the pain does. And the pain, we do anything to stop the pain. And so if doing it or not doing it creates a certain amount of pain, then that will move you past that fear point that you're talking about. So sometimes not doing it, there's no pain in not doing it because I'm comfortable. Oh, no, I don't really need a PhD. I'd like to have one, but, I'm okay right now. See, there's no pain there. But if the pain is, if I don't get that PhD, I'm going to be homeless. Okay, now I've got a motivator that supersedes any fear that I have. Mm-hmm. So think about it in those terms of where is that pain? It's a balance sometimes, and that really pushes you past the fear. All right, so let me see if I can remember what these 5 things are that will really, really make a difference in your confidence, in building your confidence. First of all,
the first one.
you've got to be clear on what it is you want. I mean, you really need to know what it is you want. That's that commitment piece. What are you committed to? If you're just trying to be confident in everything, it's not going to happen because no one's confident in everything. What is that one thing you're trying to be confident in? If you're clear about that, I want to be confident in investments and playing the stock market and investing money. And I just want to be confident in handling money. This is a level of confidence that I want, and I know I'm going to have to do something to get more confident in that.
Is clear equals destination?
It could, yeah. That's a way of looking at it as well. Destination. What is it? Where are you trying to go?
Yeah.
Where are you trying to go? What is it that you want? It's your desire. It's what you want. It's LA from, you're going to LA you're trying to get to LA from Palm Springs. That's really what I want. How do I get there? That becomes the question. How do I get there? So one of the things you need to do is make sure that you have the right support, that the people that are around you understand what you're trying to do. None of us does this alone. We're not on this planet by ourselves. None of us does it alone. Hold on a second. Hopefully I didn't lose you here. You still with me?
Yes.
I am.
Okay, good. All right. So if you surround yourself with people who support you, who support your dream, who support your destination, they want you to get to LA. They want you to fulfill your desires. That is so important, because those are the people you want around you, even when you start to lose confidence in yourself. And they say, you know what, Maggie, you really can do this. I don't know why you're hesitating. You can get that PhD. I don't know why you even think twice about it. You can get it. That's the support you want. Because there are times when you're going to think, why am I doing this? Your confidence level is going to go down. Confidence doesn't always stay high. You get hit in the jaw every now and then when you make a mistake. When I burn the souffle, I can't cook. What am I even trying this for? Someone needs to say, you can do this. Go ahead and do it. Surround yourself with people and others who support you. That is so important. If you're surrounded with people who are naysayers and negative and like, you know what? I don't even know why you tried that to begin with. You know you can't cook. Why are you even in the kitchen? You shouldn't. They shouldn't trust you with hot grease. I mean, if those are the people you're surrounding yourself with, you'll leave that kitchen in a hurry, and you'll say, "Oh, they're probably right," and you'll never get there. So support is so very important. But the external support is only part of it. You need a level of internal support also. And I'm not writing all this out because it would take too long. I wish I could show you the slides if you're taking notes. But this NLP, do you know what NLP is, Marisol?
NLP?
NLP.
No.
It stands for, Maggie, you know what NLP is. It stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It's a fancy word, a fancy phrase, neuro-linguistic programming. It's about the language, that's the linguistics piece. The language you use creates a connection in your mind, in your brain. The neurology of your mind connects to the language that you're using. So I might say a word to you, and it will evoke a certain thought. I may say, boy, it's hot out today. And you'll think about what hot means to you. And you'll say, well, I guess it is. And you almost might even start feeling warm just because I mentioned the word hot. The connection between the words we use and the way we think about them changes us. Remember the TEACH model? Thoughts create the emotions. So the language we're using triggers these thoughts. Whatever the association we have with the thoughts, with that word, and for everyone it's different based on what you were brought up, how you were, the programming that you have already. When you hear politics, you might just shut down. I don't want to hear anything about politics. Other people might say, yes, let's engage in the political discussion. The words create a different reaction in each one of us. So neuro-linguistic programming is how you program the words you use to mean a certain thing to you. So it's used all the time in advertising. When you look at a TV ad, they are using specific words that get to you, and they know what words those are. First of all, on most ads on TV, they start with your pain. Remember we talked about if we want to avoid pain? You look at any commercial, and it'll start with, are you feeling down today? You need this to bring you up. So they start with the pain because they know you want to avoid the pain. Oh yeah. Have you had this ever happen to you? Have you been in an accident lately? Is the IRS on your back? They start with the pain always.
Yeah, you're right. They do.
Because they know the pain will make you lean in because you want to get rid of that pain. So it's about the language they use because they know you're programmed a certain way. But you can reprogram yourself. That's what NLP is about. It's about reprogramming the subconscious mind. And so I'm taking time here because this is important, because this gets you to think differently. And when you think differently, you feel differently. When you feel differently, you have different energy. It moves you up that scale of higher vibration that begins to attract the things that you want in your life. So it's all connected in a way that is important. But we're talking about building confidence. And in order to build confidence, you got to know where you're going, what it is you really want, your destination, your desire, your wants. You have to have support around you that keeps you in that great frame of mind. And you yourself have to be in the right frame of mind. The words you use about whatever it is, if it's wealth, if you notice when we talked about wealth, I didn't say it'd be nice to be rich. I talked about financial freedom, because the word freedom to me means a lot. It might not mean anything to someone else. The word freedom has all kinds of connotations to me for obvious reasons. But freedom has a power to it for me. It may not mean anything to you. So you have to find the words that mean something to you. That's the linguistic piece. So that when you run those words through your mind constantly, you begin programming yourself to react to that word. So if someone says, Marisol, what is it that you really, really want in your life? Well, I want financial freedom. Because when I say freedom, I just open up, freedom. You might have a different word.
So you're saying positive trigger words? Positive trigger words, right?
Yes, that's another way of saying it. Positive trigger words. Think about the positive trigger words on anything that you are clear about. If it's, Maggie, if it's a PhD, think about a positive trigger word associated with getting your PhD. It's not just I want my PhD, because the word PhD may not mean anything to you.
Right.
You might say, I'm going back to school so I can really help people the way I want to help them, and I need a PhD to do that. When I help people, just that the word help people might mean something to you that keeps you in school. If you're just going after a PhD, it might not mean anything to you, or not enough to keep you in the game. But when you use the right words, I want to help people, that might mean something different to you. I have no idea what words mean something to you, but try to think about the words that mean something to you so that you can reprogram your mind. You're being programmed every day. Every day you're being programmed. You turn on the TV and you're being programmed. You turn on CNN, what do we call CNN? Constantly negative news. You're being programmed by that constantly negative news all the time.
Well, I think for me, I have to keep going back to number one and keep repeating number one. Because if you go back to your goal, your destination, I really like that word destination.
Yes.
If you go back to my destination, that it refocuses me, and that, that's
Yes.
my positive, my self-talk right there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's my goal.
Very good point, because that really brings us to the next point. And I want to tie these two together. So we understand the programming of the subconscious mind through NLP, or the language we use, the synapses that get connected in your brain when you hear a certain word were created over a period of time in your life. You can reconnect those synapses. You can neurologically reprogram your mind to react and to feel a certain way based on the words that come up for you. So here's the next picture. The next picture, this is the next point, which is paint a picture. It goes beyond the words themselves. What picture comes to mind when you're very confident about this destination? What is the picture that you're painting in your mind when it comes to this destination? I just got here and I got money all around me, or is it I'm here financially free, I can get on a plane tomorrow and fly to Europe if I want to, because I don't even care about the cost. Or I can donate $1 million to my favorite charity, because $1 million is really not nothing. So whatever picture it is, I'm living in a big castle, or I'm living in a small home, but my bank account is blowing up, it's got zeros all over. Whatever the picture is for you associated with that destination, get clear about this picture. Paint the picture in your mind. And this is a visual thing. this goes beyond the words. The words kind of create the synapses connection or your neuro-linguistic programming, but the picture is worth 1,000 words. So if you see the outcome, whatever that destination is, it literally takes the place of many, 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 many words. But see the picture clearly. Not just say, well, I see the picture. Live in the picture. Get in there. See yourself in there. Now, there's two ways to kind of visualize. One is to see yourself, what they call a point of view, POV. That is, you're just seeing everything around you like you're in your body. You're just seeing, okay, I see this new car out here. I see plane ticket in my hand. I see my bank account statement. I see, you're just point of view. It's from inside of you looking out. Another way of doing it, and some people find it easier, I find it harder actually, but some people find it easier, and that's to leave your body and just see yourself. There I am. I'm in that Lamborghini. I'm getting on that plane. You see yourself from the outside looking at you doing all this stuff and being all this way. So whatever works for you, paint the picture either from a point of view that you're living in your body and you're experiencing it all, or you're seeing yourself as a third person. Either way
or
works.
if you're already living it.
Yes.
And if you're already living it.
If you're already living it, and that is so key. See it as if it's already done. Because what comes with this picture? We're right back to that energy, the emotions. If you see it so clearly that it triggers an emotion for you, you are tapped into something.
Actually, because when you're talking about painting a picture, I'm already feeling pretty good.
Yeah, that's it.
Happy, like
that's
I can
right.
see these people, I can see what's going on.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing, yeah.
That's amazing. And
How
that's
do you feel, Maggie? Can you feel that?
Yeah, well, yeah.
if you can't, you better paint a different picture, one that makes you feel it.
Because you definitely will feel it.
Yes, because when you're doing that, you're moving up the scale. You're moving all the way up. You are changing the energy level. You're changing your emotions from one of lack and limitation and fear that I'll never get through school or I'll never have the money. One to, hey, you know what? It feels good to have that money. See it as if it's already happened. See, the mind can't tell the difference between a picture and reality. It really can't. Typically, the thing I like to use is when you're dreaming at night, when you're asleep. Have you ever had a dream where you thought you were falling off a cliff and you just jerked?
Yeah.
You weren't falling off a cliff. You were staying flat. The mind can't tell the difference. You wake up sometimes in a sweat or, your heart beating really fast because the mind thinks it's real. The mind cannot tell the difference between reality and reality because whatever's in your mind is real. And so that's why the picture is important, because when you paint the picture and it becomes so real to your mind, you get these emotions that come with it. And but the emotions are this energy, and this energy, the universe responds to. The negative emotions, the negative picture is the same way. If you're seeing bad things, you're creating bad emotions and you're inviting bad energy and connection with the universe. So be careful about the picture.
Well, I think I was just on a roll with that negative stuff, man. The last couple weeks, holy smoke.
Yes.
I'm trying to think how I got off that roller coaster, but yeah, it was like one bad thing after another.
And it can build on itself. So I'm glad you caught it.
Paint that picture.
So,
can you see it, Maggie? Can you see it as it's happening? I mean, can you already see that it's happening?
Like, what do you mean?
What I'm saying is, like, when one thing after another, it's almost like you just know something else is going to happen to something else,
No, I didn't then, but, well, you know what, that's not true. No, not in the beginning, but you're right, in the end I did, and towards the end, and that's why it changed, because then I had to then go change it, but, not in the beginning, and it starts, I don't know, and then But yeah, you're right. As soon as you see it, then you can change it, and yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, because then you have to make yourself change your life, right?
You
I mean, change your direction.
That's right.
Which starts with the direction of your mind, right?
That's right.
With
That's right.
desire to want to change. I mean, all that. Yeah, backwards. Work backwards, right? Or
That's
whatever.
right.
I don't know. But I'm really glad it changed.
Right.
It's not a good.
Well, the good news is that you caught it. Whatever you did to change it, that's the good news, because what it does is it shows you that you really do have a level of control about that. You can, whatever you feel about something, you feel negative about something and it's really driving you down and getting you down, you can stay there if you like. I mean, it's your choice.
Yeah, but Marisol, like you said, could you see it? How do you see it right away so you catch it right away? I mean, I guess.
Well, after the first, you see it because you recognize that one thing negative happened. Okay, the second one, oh, it's not so good, but you know what? Boom, stop, done. Right, Clarence?
That's right.
Right? It's like, oh, I just laughed. I know this is happening to me. I'm not even going there. You're not even paying rent, now.
That's right.
You're right. Should have been more aware.
Go ahead, Maggie.
Sorry. No, I'm done. Sorry.
Some people put a name to it, or they'll call it, whatever works for you. They'll say, well, that's just the devil doing something. They'll just say somebody's doing something to me. And that's one way of saying, okay, I'm not going to let the devil do this. I'm not going to let the world get to me this way. So you take control over that yourself. And that's what's important, is that you understand that whatever's happening, you can control that. I'm just going to let the world do this to me. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm qualified to have, and I'm just going to stand in my confidence, and I'm just going to move forward. And when you stand in your own power, it changes everything. There's two things I want to just share with you as we're on this topic, and that is the power that you have within you is a gift. It's a gift that we've all been given, and it's that choice, the gift of choice. You can choose to continue down the path and let the world direct you how you're going to feel, or you can choose to say, I'm not buying into that. I know what it feels to feel good, and I know I can get there. Even though bad things might be happening, I know I can still find a way to get to a good place for me. Right? I don't like what's going on out there, and I don't like what they did to me or what they said to me, and I don't like what they're doing to the person I love, and I don't like, but I know how it's affecting me. And I know that if I rise above that, I've got the ability, and I can make the choice to say, you know what? I'm bigger than that. Life is grander than that, whatever that thing is. And I'm going to stand in my power to evoke that love, that whatever it is that puts me to another level of energy. You have the choice to do that. It's not always easy to do. It takes practice. And when something bad is happening, it's easy to just jump in there and waddle in the mud with it. But if you can recognize that's where you're going, now it's the time to make a choice and take action.
That's when it's good. That's when it's good to have a group, a support group, a people group, a happy group.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Very, very true.
Yeah, chat room and say, oh my gosh, today is not a good day.
I feel like my support group's me.
Well, true. I
am my own support group.
Oh, you got us here.
I got you now.
Well, you know what? If you are your support group, good for you, because you're always there. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm not always so good about that. I wish I were better. That's why I was saying that, I should have recognized earlier and saved myself a lot of time, but I let myself wallow in it. Yeah. So apparently I liked wallowing in it for a while. But anyway, I should have been better for myself.
There's there's something sadistically comfortable about being down.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah. And it's like, woe is me. Yeah, I feel bad, you know. And we kind of look for other people to say, yeah, you really got it hard. That shouldn't have happened to you. And you say, yeah, you know, they're just picking on me on that. This has always been. And it's a weird kind of comfort there, but know that you can get stuck there.
The victim, yeah.
Yes. And so catching it and moving out of that is the best thing you can do, particularly if we're talking about attracting the right things in your life and creating the energy of confidence. Remember, this is a confidence model here. These 5 steps are about confidence. Getting that destination, getting the support group, even if it starts with yourself, getting the level of support you need that when you feel uncomfortable or low confidence, someone says, you got this. Changing the programming. The words that you use are so important and so powerful. And then paint this picture. This should be the fun part. I don't know if you are creative minds or not, you're left brain or right brain people, but this you can have fun with. You can really have fun with this paint the picture one. I love this one because every time you visit the picture, here's a tip for you. Every time you visit the picture that you've painted, whatever that is, if it's having a PhD or it's having financial freedom. Every time you visit it, add just a little more detail to it. Add just a little more detail. Okay, I've got this PhD and I'm standing and they're calling my name and I'm taking my tassel and I'm moving it to the other end. I've got the degree in my hand. All right, the next time you visit that picture, think of yourself taking the hat off and throwing it in the air and having a celebratory drink with your loved ones afterwards. Yes, I finally did it. The next time you see that picture, see yourself with writing your name with PhD at the end of it.
Yeah.
Wow, oh, that felt good to write that PhD at the end of my name. But keep adding to the picture and add detail to the picture so that the picture, as Marisol said, creates emotion. It makes you feel differently.
She got an emotion. Maggie just had an emotion. Did you catch it?
No, I missed it.
When you said PhD at the end of your name, she said, yeah. I think that's your motivating drive.
Yes.
You did it, and you are.
Yes.
You know, you have created that for yourself. You are. PhD is a doctor, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you are a doctor now. You're a woman of, you've mastered this.
Yes.
So let's get real about what it is we really want when we're at our destination. It's okay to say, I'm proud to be, I'm a doctor now. Yeah. I'm a doctor. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not selfish to think that, yeah, you are by default going to help many people, but you're really after what you really want to be. That's is right. A doctor.
That's right. That's right. And if what PhD means to you it means nothing to us, that's okay. As long as it means something to you. And if it just means I'm more credible now, maybe it gives you more confidence. If that's what it is, hone in on what credibility means to you and paint a picture around credibility. Paint a picture about walking into a room and people saying, yes, Dr. Maggie, or, you know, whatever it is, the respect that comes with it or whatever. I'm not going to paint the picture for you. You have to paint it because I can't paint your picture. This is yours to own. This is what makes this so much fun because you can you're a Picasso here. You can do whatever you want in this picture, but do it in a way that creates the emotion. And the last item here is all this is great. And this all makes us feel good. But at the end of the day, you have to do something. You have to take action. You have to act. I can learn how to make that French dish and I can feel good about it. I can picture people eating it and giving me compliments and I can use all the right language that builds me up and I can feel good about it. And I have people supporting me in the kitchen. But if I never turn on the stove, if I never take the action, my confidence will never really grow because this is what will give me the competence. This is what will make me know that I not only can do it, I have done it. And so your competence will drive more confidence. This is helping you build your confidence so that you can start to build the competence. And then it circles back. So this simple 5-step plan to building your confidence is also creating a level of energy, confidence energy, that attracts the right things to you. And I always say confidence opens doors. It's because when you walk in a room with confidence, you see people walking in and you can kind of tell, they got the swagger, or they got something, they got this energy about them. And it's not arrogance. There's a difference.
Right.
Confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance is almost the opposite, in my opinion. Arrogance are people who are hiding something. They don't want you to see the real. They are on the attack. They are so arrogant. Hey, look at me. I got this. I got that. That's because inside there's something else going on that they're hiding. So arrogance is not confidence. Don't get the two confused. But are these 5 things helpful?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, good. We're getting to the end. I went over 8 to 8 o'clock, so we're on the 8:30.
It's okay.
I'm sorry to keep you longer, but once I get going, it's hard to stop.
I think adding on to number 3, I'm going to add on my part of the neuro-linguistic programming is stronger affirmations and more often.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. This is one great tool to create this. Affirmations.
All of those I am. I'm already doing it. I am. I gotta put all my I am this and that, I am a restaurant owner. I am.
Yes. I love it. I love it. All right. Here, when you write your affirmations, Marisol, since you raised the issue, I love affirmations.
Yeah.
I'll give you another tip for your affirmations. Just like for your visualization, there's a tip to see the detail, feel the emotion. The other tip to visualization, I hope I'm not giving you too much.
No, I'm good.
It's hard to I just want to dump more and more information out here. But the visualization, the other thing that's important that you do as you put more detail in your picture is to bring your senses into play, all of your 5 senses. So when if a restaurant owner is what you want to be, what does that not only look like? What is it? What are you smelling? What is the smell in the kitchen? What's my chef cooking today? What do I hear? Do I hear voices of people just having a great time?
Yeah. Bring
your senses into it. All of your senses, your smell, your sight, your taste. What do I feel on my skin? Is there a coolness when it's really hot outside? The air conditioner is going and it's comfortable in here. All of your senses. Bring all of your senses into the picture. Is not a 2-dimensional picture. It's a 3 or 4-dimensional picture because it has the 3 dimensions plus it has your emotions. So when you paint the picture, paint a complete picture. Now, the affirmations. Here's a couple of tips on the affirmations. And you already stated one of them that's very, very important. The 3 most powerful letters in the English language. I-A-M. I am. Start it with I am. I am a successful restaurant owner. Not just a restaurant owner. I am crazily successful. Use whatever adjective. Go to the extreme with it. Because what follows this is really what's doing the program. When you say I am, what is it that you really are picturing? I am unbelievably successful. The emotion with that word unbelievable needs to be there. So whatever word creates the emotion for you, put that in there. So this is one tip for affirmations. The other is you can do I am, I have.
Yes.
And I am able, as an example. So this is the be, do, and have. So your affirmations should be a be, do, have. It's not only what you are, but it's what you have, and it's what you do. So write 10 or 13 or however many you want, but they should begin with the I am, or I have an amazing restaurant. I am a very successful business owner. I am able to grow my business unbelievably. It's the be, do, have. Your affirmations, if you have affirmations of be, do, have, that will help the programming a lot. Just like the 5 senses will help the emotions in the picture a lot.
It's powerful.
Good.
It's very, very, very powerful. I am testimony all over the place.
Oh, good.
All over the place.
Well, good. I'd love to get a testimony from you.
Okay.
Just type it out and that'd be fine. I'll put it on my website.
Oh, yeah. I can tell you now, or you want me to email it to you, or?
Sure. Yeah. Just email it to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. I'm not begging for one, but if you're open to do that, I've always loved to have someone else that's benefited from something I've done, and it really does help. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I really do.
You're powerful-minded. Mm-hmm. Amen.
All right. Well, it is 8:30 now, and I'm going to let you guys go. But we're going to do this again in 2 weeks, and maybe we'll take one of the other corners. We might take the courage corner, the fear corner, because it has a model to it as well to get you through it. Or the commitment corner, we'll go through that and how you build a level of commitment. But each one of these things are so important. They all have to be together, though. So this is just one corner of that triangle, but it's an important corner.
Yeah.
They all are. All right. That's it for today.
Thank you very much. And Marisol, thanks for all of your input too, because
yes.
you a lot too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you're learning every day.
Very powerful. I really appreciate you both being here and contributing. I always learn when I teach, and that's because the student always provides another point of view for me. I love that. Because my competence begins to grow. And
Awesome. So our next scheduled online is are you still gonna?
Yeah, 2 weeks from now. The low turnout is really discouraging, but I'm going to give it some thought. It's scheduled already on the meetup page, and if it changes, I'll send out a note that it's either going to be in person or we're going to cancel it. But I want to keep them going, and I'll try to send out some information in between, just some value tips to everyone. So whether you use them or not. Again, you can get this teach model at clarencecaldwell.com/teach.
Okay.
And you'll see what the rest of it looks like.
Sounds good.
Keep you in suspense. It's but the thoughts and emotions, that's the main piece of this, and you really need to pay attention to those too. All right.
I look forward to that. Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining, Maggie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right, you too. Good night.